This week, we find the greatest cordless random orbit sander ever made.
Jim reveals the truth behind DeWALT's new battery tech.
The boys at Hayes teach us the real difference between M12 and M18.
And PTR tells us how not to shop for tools.
This is your Power Tool Week in Review.
This episode brought to you by Flex, It's What's Next, and Spider, Pro-Powered Tools.
Welcome back, Power Tool fans. I'm Rob.
And I'm Sarah. Merry Christmas Eve, everyone.
Yeah, we hope that by the time you see this, you're all relaxing with your family and low-key ignoring them by watching our show on your phone, carefully tucked under a throw pillow.
Hey, I know that move. I made that move.
You watch our show at family events?
Every chance I get. All right, guys, so today is an extra long special holiday show starting over at ProjectFarm, where Todd decided he needed a right angle adapter for his Impact. So naturally, he bought 12 of them and then promptly murdered them in the name of science. Exactly why we love ProjectFarm. He gathered examples from DeWALT, Milwaukee, and a few other brands we're not familiar with. The group ranges from $9 for the Auto Tool Home model, all the way up to $60 for the red one, which includes Milwaukee Awesome Tax.
That Milwaukee awesomeness is expensive, but it's awesome.
Exactly. Todd goes on to compare size, weight, drive speed, operating temperature, max torque, and of course, after blowing them all up, he takes a detailed look at their construction and design as well. I realize accessories like these can often be impulse buys, but considering you don't need to stick to a brand, it's worth watching ProjectFarm and make sure you buy the right one.
I love how you say you don't have to buy the right brand when both you and I know full well that DeWALT guys have to buy DeWALT.
Yeah, fair point.
It was brought to our attention that we don't feature many big woodworking shop tools, and fortunately for us, Matt over at 731 Woodworks recently ordered a pair of shop tools from Laguna, including this P-Flux 1 dust collector, which frankly is the coolest looking dust collector I've ever seen. Something we love about Matt's review videos is the format. Matt walks you through the delivery and setup process, covers the features, and then suddenly jumps ahead in time to review the unit after he's used it for several weeks, if not more. And this review isn't any different. Matt installed both the P-Flux 1 and the new Laguna Clean Air filtration system. And after a month, Matt seemed to be extremely happy with his purchase. The most significant reason for choosing this specific dust collector was the huge HEPA filter. But the system also included a ton of useful features, including an easy-to-use rolling collection bin, 110-volt power, the cyclone separator with windows, and the portability offered by the oversized casters. Now, air filtration and dust collection is something that often takes backseat to more exciting tools like table saws and jointers. But as most woodworking veterans will tell you, having healthy lungs to retire with is a pretty big deal. So if you're thinking of finally taking the plunge, Matt has you covered.
Brian over at WorkshopAddict spends a lot of time under cars, so when Milwaukee released the new M12 Magnetic Underbody Light, he was first in line to get it. This form factor is pretty unique. The body of the unit is mostly magnet. It's designed to attach to one of many places under your car or hood, and the posable arm allows you to move the 1200 TrueView lumens exactly where you need it. He quickly points out that while it is indeed perfect for under your car, its flexibility and overpowered magnet make it a great choice for many different trades that end up in dark spaces. But this light isn't just portable and bright, it also includes a clever 12-inch magnetic storage tray to hold nuts and bolts. The light is also IP54 rated, impact and corrosion resistant to most chemicals found in your shop, and has a 5-year warranty. If you need to shed some more light in your shop, head over to WorkshopAddict.
I'm not entirely sure, but I think Bosch just built a pair of sanders specifically for me. These are the new Bosch 18-volt and 12-volt 5-inch random orbit sanders.
Oh my god, they're barrel grips.
Yes, ma'am, they are. As opposed to the common vertical design found on like Milwaukee's, DeWalt's, and Makitas, these move the batteries far to the side and get your hand far closer to the disc. And at the risk of sounding like a tool tuber, they both feel real good in the hand.
Feels like quality.
Now, I just got these and haven't had a chance to really put them through their paces yet, but fortunately, the boys at Toolsinaction got a hold of the 18-volt version and decided to put it into action. Eric and Dan almost immediately picked up on the obvious change to ergonomics, and they seem to have loved it almost as much as I do. And after using it for a while, they also called out the dust collection, which often doesn't work very well on these small cordless options. They say the performance is great, the feel's great, and Eric went so far as to call it, quote, the best cordless sander out there. The only gripe they had was a small convenience issue caused by the way the battery slides into the handle on the 18-volt version. It ends up hiding the battery status LEDs, so you can't check your battery levels without removing it first. Now, I used to have a really nice Mirka Ceros that I absolutely loved, and these are the first cordless sanders that feel like the Mirka did. Now I just need a project to use them on. For more details on the 18-volt, head over to Toolsinaction.
Vince over at VCG is always on the lookout for the next best tool deal, and last week he thinks he stumbled upon it by accident while perusing a Home Depot.
No, Vince does not peruse, he shops.
So sorry, Vince was shopping Home Depot.
Thank you.
And ran across this Milwaukee M12 Inflator at a crazy low price of just $99. He said he's had his eye on this little guy for a long time, but due to more than a few negative reviews from his fans, he wasn't exactly keen on paying $170 for it. But apparently $99 was the magic number because Vince did pick it up, brought it back to his shop, and promptly started filling up the tires on his truck. But things didn't immediately go so well.
To be honest, that don't sound good.
After a bit of fiddling with the Schrader valve, Vince finally got it working. Now, here at Belts and Boxes, we use our heart inflator often on cars, motorcycles, and bicycles. And it's amazingly handy. But one feature the Milwaukee has that ours does not is an automatic shutoff, and it seems to work really well. So if you're feeling flat this Christmas, Vince may just have the answer you're looking for.
Something is wrong in New Zealand. It might be the current global illness, we don't really know, but we know something's wrong because Tools and Stuff is reviewing Milwaukee tools. Jebediah Makita's rolling over in his grave.
Jebediah?
Just go with it. Apparently our Kiwi friend accidentally bought the new M18 Fuel 18-gauge stapler instead of the brad nailer. Now that sounds incredibly stupid until you compare the New Zealandish word for stapler and nailer. Easy mistake to make. So he decided that he wouldn't return the stapler, but instead does what every tool fan does when they buy the wrong tool, they keep it and buy the right one. Fortunately for us, Tools and Stuff decided that this made a good opportunity to compare the two tools. At this point, we've grown to expect really great things from Milwaukee's nailers, and this review is no different. And if you're on the chicken wire fence over which one you should get first, Tools and Stuff has the answer for you.
Speaking of international tool friends, our buddies over at Hayes Machinery just launched a new series that every tool fan should watch. Specifically, they plan to dig deep into the question they get most about Milwaukee tools, M18 or M12. In this first video, they spend some time mucking about with a set of impacts, including both the standard and surge versions of each. And tragically, they can't seem to find any joy in the process.
He's done it again.
Oh, right.
Why don't we laugh like that? Oh, just kidding. We laugh like that all the time.
I was about to say.
This is just the beginning of the new M12 vs M18 series. They plan to compare SDS drills, recip saws, and more. So if you're wondering which platform is best for you, or if you just love to laugh while using power tools, head over to Hayes Machinery.
Now, tomorrow morning, no doubt Santa's going to leave the same thing he always does under the tree, a huge bag of unmarked bills.
What? Santa brings you cash?
Of course, what does he... Aw, does he bring you something dark and flammable?
Maybe. That dude better pay up this year.
So on Saturday, you're going to no doubt jump online flush with holiday cash, ready to buy some new tools. But before you do, the boys at Protoolreviews have some good tips for you. Recently, Kenny shared 10 mistakes people make when shopping for power tools, and his list is completely on point. Things like buying too much or too little tool for the job, risking your safety with counterfeit batteries, and ignoring the value and benefit of a good corded tool. Even if you're an old pro, you know family's going to be asking you for some tool advice this year.
Every year.
Yeah, but this time around, you can just point them to Protoolreviews.
A couple of weeks ago, I sent my buddy Jim our DeWALT Powerstack battery so he could run some tests, and this week he delivered. Specifically, Jim paired it up with one of DeWalt's 21700 cell examples and even brought in the 384-pound 15-amp-hour FlexVolt battery. Now, I might have exaggerated that weight.
You did not!
This new lithium-ion pouch has the potential to cause a major shift in this industry, and DeWalt's tiny 1.7 amp-hour wonder is our first real look. As we've seen on other head-to-heads, it may be small, but it's clearly punching above its weight. This obviously leaves the question, what's going to happen when DeWalt takes the lunchbox they use for the 15 amp-hour FlexVolt and fill it with pouches? Until then, you can get Jim's insight over at PhillyFixed.
If you guys don't spend a lot of time over on Instagram, you may not know my stepbrother, Murray from KrugerConstruction.
Stepbrother?
Yeah, Murray's parents adopted me at the last tool event we went to. See, look at the picture. That's me and my parents.
Is that Heather Ani from Mechanical Hub?
Yeah, she's my stepsister now.
Oh, brother.
Anyways, Murray is a remodeler in Canada who reviews power tools on the side, and this week he showcased the Festool Planex 2 drywall sander while retexturing a ceiling. The primary focus here is the remarkable job it does of keeping the dust under control, with its built-in dust collection paired with a Festool vac. But I'm more obsessed with that ring light. I don't do a lot of drywall sanding, like ever in my life, yet, at all, never, but now I want that tool because it looks amazing. Sorry, not sorry, my dudes. Anyways, Murray walks you through the entire setup process and details each feature on the sander and the vac. If your next job includes sanding down a textured ceiling, be sure to first stop at KrugerConstruction.
Get it.
What?
Okay, so I don't need a drywall sander, but I want that one.
Right? It's the light, isn't it?
It is. It definitely is. Okay, but also, if any tool can do the job it was primarily made to do, it's just satisfying.
Yeah, it is. All right. I think that's it for us. It's time for you to carefully put your phone back in your pocket and pay attention to your family.
We hope that you all have a wonderful Christmas Eve and a warm and family-filled Christmas tomorrow.
I want to thank Flex and Spider for sponsoring this episode. Guys, we couldn't do it without you. And fellas, do something kind for somebody this weekend if you can, and we'll see you next week.